everybody, welcome to Now You're Cooking Thursday night demo. Sorry we're a minute late, we had a technical difficulty. I think we've cured that issue. The first thing I would like to say to everybody is May the 4th be with you. We have these awesome dishwasher magnets so you can see when it's clean or dirty, so people don't put dirty in with the clean. And we have some fun Mandalorian teas as well from Republic of Tea. So come bring your lightsaber and buy some Star Wars teas and stuff. Anyway, tonight is our last official scheduled Thursday night demo. See, I don't even know what night it is. It has been so much fun to do this for the last 3 years, and we really love and appreciate that everybody that has watched week after week. We've got probably close to 150 videos that are on our Facebook page, and they're on our YouTube channel. Almost all of them are linked to a recipe, so please continue to watch them. And we'll have little pop-ups here and there, and we'll let you know if we have a great new product or a great new recipe or something that we feel like we really want to share with you. The exciting news around that, and the reason that we're ending our Thursday night demos, is that our new kitchen is done. It is open, so please stop in and come check it out, take a look, open drawers. It is really, really fun. It is gorgeous. And this means that we are going to start doing in-person cooking classes again and wine tastings, which we are super excited about. Our first cooking class is going to be sushi on May 31st with Chris Toy. $65 per person. Please give us a call and sign up. It's going to be really great. There will also be miso soup and steamed edamame along with the sushi rolls. So you'll learn how to make perfect, beautiful nori rolls. And we have some other ones coming up. We just sent out an email. If you didn't get the email, check out our website and look under events, and all of the upcoming events are listed there, including Spring into Summer, which is May 20th. We're going to have a big tent sale over on the Customs House lawn, and we're also going to have a chocolate tasting and wine tasting from noon to 2, and that will be right here in the kitchen. We'll have Mandy from Lanef Chocolate with some of her chocolates, and Jules from Nappy Distributors with some wines, and it's going to be really fun, and we are looking forward to seeing you here and also at the sale. Sale tent starts at 9 o'clock and goes until 2. The store technically opens at 10. We may be here a little early, though, so you can walk right over here afterwards. So let's get to it. We are making chicken mole enchiladas tonight. It's May 4th. Tomorrow is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, which is actually a very minor holiday, I believe, in Mexico, but we Americans sure like to celebrate it with margaritas and good Mexican food. So I'm going to get started here, and I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing as we go. So I have my pan, beautiful new induction stove. We've talked a lot about how they work, so I won't bore you with those details again, but please come in and chat with us if you want to see how they work. We're happy to put a pan on the stove and boil some water for you quickly or whatever. There's a little water actually on there. Excuse me. So it's making some funny noises. There we go. And that's just the sizzling. Ooh! Moves. So this is heating up. I have it on pretty high temp, and I'm going to put my onions in. This is all going to get pureed with an immersion blender, so I'm not really concerned with how big the chunks of onion are in here. Real authentic chicken or mole sauce is made usually with at least 2 kinds of peppers. And they are dried peppers, and then they're reconstituted and, mushed up in a mortar and pestle. It generally has dark chocolate in it, not sweetened, but like dark baker's chocolate. The word mole, I believe, comes from, it's not Aztec or Inca, but it's another very early Latin American tribe, and it basically means sauce. And chocolate was a big ingredient in Mexico, still is, but back in the old days, it was a really big ingredient, and it adds a really nice flavor. You're not going to get like a milk chocolate sweet flavor, but it adds a really nice earthy richness to the sauce. So we're going to use cocoa powder. We're making this really easy on you tonight. And the sauce, traditional authentic mole, usually has nuts or seeds in it, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, peanuts. So we're using peanut butter. And instead of all of those beautiful chilies, I'm just using chili powder. You can also throw in, if you want to, a jalapeno, if you want it more spicy. And I urge you, if you have the time and energy and desire, to make a really authentic one sometime. But this is a nice, easy weeknight dinner. As you'll see, it's going to take about 20 minutes or so to make the sauce. And then you just put it in the oven. You roll them up. I'll show you how to do that. Put it in the oven for about 20 minutes or so, 20 to 30 minutes. I'll show you how to make rice and some refried beans, which I've already made, but I'll tell you about how we did that. And there you go. You've got a nice dinner. Maybe throw some vegetables in there somewhere, just for the nutrition, you know. Okay, so I have my onions. I'm going to put in my garlic. So this was 1 medium onion. This is 4 cloves of garlic. I might have put 5 in. Sometimes I do that. And this is just going to get sauteed a little bit. I do want to make sure that I'm not burning the garlic, because it will get bitter if I do that. And I just want the really nice garlicky flavor in there. And then, so if you're doing a jalapeno, add it now. Chop it up, add it in there. Then I'm going to add some spices. So I have cumin, coriander, and cinnamon here. That's going in. I have a 1/4 cup of chili powder. You can use really hot chili powder if you like it that way, or you can use a mild, however you like it. Make it the way you like it. And I'm going to stir those in a little bit. And just let that toast. Ooh, that smells good. Can you smell it, Mike? Mike can smell it. Can you smell it, Heather? Heather can smell it. It smells good. Okay, then I'm going to add a little bit of flour, and that is our thickening agent. So the flour and the oil that's in there is what is making sort of a roux, although this is kind of a dry roux. Probably use a little oil. That's okay. And then I'm going to add chicken stock, and this is better than bouillon mixed with water. You can use any kind of chicken stock that you like. If you want to make this vegetarian, you could use veggie stock. It does not have to be chicken. And then you can just make your enchiladas out of something other than chicken. So this can definitely be a vegetarian dinner option. I'm going to turn my stove up just a little bit. I don't want this to boil. I just want it to get nice and hot. I am going to add my cocoa powder. It's about 2 tablespoons. Cocoa powder, peanut butter. This is one of my favorite quick things to make when I have friends coming over, because you can throw it together really easily. I just buy a rotisserie chicken at the grocery store and take the meat off, and you end up with a nice big helping of meat. You don't have to do any extra cooking, and they're quick and easy. So that was tomato paste and a little bit of salt. And I'm just going to let this cook for a few minutes and get thick-ish. I want it hot, but I don't want it boiling. So while that's doing its thing, let's talk about refried beans. This is 2 cans of pinto beans, some spices, some onions and garlic, all cooked together with a little bit of water. Or, you can use chicken stock or veggie stock if you want to. And cook it down until it's nice and thick. And I am boiling, which I didn't want to, because I'm still getting used to the stove. And then I just mush it up a little bit so you have some whole beans and some kind of mushed beans. You can put in green peppers or whatever if you want a little color in there. You could add cilantro, whatever you want to do to make it nice and Mexican-y. And then the rice is a Mexican rice. And the way I made this is I started with onions and garlic, which I sauteed together, threw some spices in there, some coriander and cumin, little bit of tomato paste and chicken stock. Before I put the chicken stock in, I put the rice in and kind of coat that with all of the oil and spices, and then put the chicken stock in and let that cook for about 20 minutes until it's done. So you have basically, you've got your sauce, you've got your rice, you've got your beans. And I wanted to mention too that this is my new favorite thing in the world. Instead of buying a can of tomato sauce, which always goes bad because you only really want a tablespoon. Everybody probably knows this. I'm new to this party, but this stuff is awesome. Tomato paste in a tube. So you just use as much as you want and the rest stays nice and fresh. Okay, moving on. So that was so quick, you may have noticed that this did start to boil. It's not going to ruin it. It's going to be just fine. What I'm going to do now is plug in my trusty immersion blender. And why do I love immersion blenders? Because I hate doing dishes. And if I was going to do this in a regular blender or a food processor, I'd have to have another pot. I'd have to wash out the blender or the food processor. I'd have to do it in stages. Couldn't do it all at once. But instead, I plug this guy in. I immerse it, hence the name. And then I just, if you can hear me, I'm just going to blend. You do want to be careful that you don't start it before it's immersed, and you don't want to pull it out while it's running, or you will get hot soup or mole sauce or whatever you're making all over the place, and it is unpleasant. This has 2 speeds, low and high. I usually just use low. And that is pretty well done. There might be some little chunks of onion, but I'm not going to worry about it because I don't worry about this sort of thing. Okay, so that goes there. You probably, if you're making this at home, you want to let this cool down a little bit because it's very hot. And I am going to mix a little bit first with my chicken, just a ladleful or so. And then I'm also going to put a little bit on the bottom of my pan. This will keep the enchiladas from sticking too badly. And you can cook it a little longer at a lower heat if you want it thicker, but this is going to be just fine. Okay, and then I'm going to toss my chicken in it. Putting on my gloves so that I don't get my hands all icky. I'm like a cat. Mike's laughing. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to mix this in, just coating the chicken. It's going to have sauce on the bottom. As you can see, it's also going to have sauce on the top of it, so I'm not going to be too concerned about that. Next is we have our tortillas, and this will make 12 enchiladas. And I am just dipping these a little bit in water because if you try to roll them without them being wet, they just spring open, and they probably will anyway to some extent, but this will help. And I'm just going to make a few right now just so we can see what happens. So the first thing is a little bit of chicken right in the middle. Can you see okay? So chicken. And then some cheese. This is a cheddar cheese. I like a sharp cheddar, but if you like mild, you can do that. If you want to add some spice, you can use some pepper jack. Okay, simple. A little bit of chicken, a little bit of cheese, and then we're just going to roll that up. And it is going to open, I can tell. They do open a little bit or they crack. but that's okay. They're going to be fine. So a little more cheese on there. That one got short cheesed. Okay. So then this is going to go into the oven at 350, I think. Wrong side. 350, and it's going to be about 25 minutes or so. So we're going to fill this with our enchiladas, and then I'm going to spoon or ladle more sauce over it so that they're covered, and we're not going to worry that that one just wants to stay open. And then it's going to get cheese on it. So this will be full. It's going to go into the oven, 350 for about 20 minutes or so. Don't look at that one. Look at the pretty ones. And they are so delicious. They're wonderful. Everybody I know loves them. Serve them with some rice and some refried beans if you want to make a salad, or if you want to have something healthy, go for it. But this is a nice, filling, delicious meal. And it will be great for tomorrow night if you want to celebrate Cinco de Mayo with a margarita or some Mexican beer or something. So thank you everybody so much for following us for the last 3 years while we've been getting through the pandemic. And we really, again, appreciate everybody watching. And we've had so much fun doing these demos. Mike has had fun doing these demos too, definitely. And we are so excited to show you all our new kitchen. So please stop by anytime. The doors are open. May 20th is spring into summer. Make sure you come see us for that, for both the tent sale and the wine tasting and chocolate tasting from noon to 2. And then Saturday, June 10th, we're going to have a grand opening of the kitchen, and that'll be a whole day affair with cooking demos and a wine tasting and all sorts of fun stuff, probably some sales. So thank you again so much. We've loved coming into your homes and cooking with you for the last 3 years, and you'll see us again. We're not going away. I'm not going to say I'll see you next week, because I won't, but we'll see you hopefully in the store soon. Take care, everyone.